This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You got the thinking class. Sorry, this is man. There's been a lot going on right before the show begins. So we are just live here. You looking at me? I got a different whole setup right now. My other camera's not coming on for some reason. But we're live today. Today is Friday, Fly High Friday. If you're in the chat room, let me know. We're gonna get it started today. We're gonna talk about staying in the game and importance of, let's get this going right here. The importance of not allowing, the art of staying in your lane. So today we're going to talk about it. If you can hear me clearly in the chat room, let me know because I can back up. I can do whatever. Trying to look straight ahead at the camera. Got a different camera I'm working with. Matter of fact, I need to pick up another camera. But today we're talking about staying in your lane. How important that is. Today we're talking about not to compare yourself to others who are in their lane. Let me say that again. The importance of not comparing yourself to others that are in their lane. I think that's one of the biggest things I see happening right now. Make sure this is picking up. Yes, it is picking up. Making sure that the sound is picking up clearly. Yes, there we go. It's working. Yeah. Okay. Let me do this because I had something on. Let me cut it off. Boom. The importance of staying in your lane. If you can hear me clearly, let me know in the chat room. I'm using a different camera. My other camera's over here. Got to turn it on, but I want to definitely hear from you guys today. I'm going to put the link into there. We're going to talk today about the art of staying in your lane. This is the last day, Fly High Friday. It's Good Friday. We're going to talk about also, too, about not comparing yourself to others who are in their lane. And that's a dangerous thing that a lot of people do is they compare themselves to others who are in their lane and saying, well, I'm not driving as fast as them. I'm not moving as fast as them. They doing something I want to do. The most dangerous thing you can do is compare. Shout out to you, John. Appreciate that for the jerk. There you go. Appreciate that. Thank you. For the jerk fun, jerk chicken fun. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Shout out to LJ. Happy Easter, everyone here in the thinking class for the jerk chicken fun. Good. I got money. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Got a different camera, so you see me looking up and looking down. I'm doing both things at the same time. But I want to say, man, stay in your lane. Let me sort of digress a little bit. We got some people coming in. I want to say I appreciate everyone in the thinking class. Sometimes, and the reason why I'm talking about comparing, we can compare ourselves to big channels, little channels, channels who've been out there a long time, channels who are doing something, channels ain't doing nothing. You cannot compare yourself to anyone else because can't nobody do it like you can do it. I need to say that because I had to realize the thinking class, the community that we have here, we have some special people that are here. I appreciate everyone that's part of the thinking class. People who come and listen, people who watch in the clouds, people who come by and take the content and make it their own. Because I see you doing it. I appreciate you. That means I'm making an impact on people's lives. Even the young man that came by yesterday, who was 21 years old, he needed that talk to from a father, not from somebody who's going to give him some, I'm just going to give you this advice. This is what you need to do. No, a man that's going to say, hey, this is what you need to do as a father. We don't realize, is this a scripture in the New Testament that says we have many teachers, but we don't have many fathers. So I need to emphasize that again. We have so many people who can teach you everything, how to get to point A, how to get to point B, want to teach you the game, want to teach you how to do this, how to do that. But I'm here to tell you, we don't have a lot of people who can be a father to you. And there's a difference between being a teacher and being a father. We say we got many teachers, but we don't have many fathers. So even yesterday with the young man coming through, dropping some P's and Q's on him, that wasn't about being a pimp. It wasn't about how many women he can get. It wasn't about the number he get. It was about how does this man navigate in the place that he's at, in the lane that he's in right now, to be the best version of himself? How does he navigate in being a man? So everybody got advice. Everybody got everything they want to talk about. Everyone want to try to, so you don't fall into the same pitfalls they fell in. I understand that. But how many times do we realize that I have to realize that this community, at the end of the day, I am a father. I have 2 sons. I'm a father. I'm a man who cares about other men. I care about women. I care about the well-being of others. I care about seeing them be the best version of themselves. Okay, the numbers may not be like people think they should be. So what? The thing of it is, if I can pour into one person, or I can pour into individuals, and their lives become the best version of their lives, I did what I was called to do. So many times we get hypnotized by the numbers of who's listening and who ain't listening, what they doing and what they ain't doing, that we miss out on touching the people who are listening to us. That's why I'm saying the power of staying in your lane is knowing that you can't compare yourself to others. Shout out to you, Joe Blas. You can't compare yourself to others. It's so easy to do, to say, let me compare myself to what others are doing or how they doing it. You can't compare yourself. You are unique as you are as a unique a person as your fingerprint, the way you walk, the way you talk. So at the end of the day, I realized the thinking class, it may be, shout out to you, it may be this, maybe people want it to be this big and that big. It can be that big. I'm all for it. But if people's lives are not impacted, if they're not changed, if they're not seeing change in their life, what in the hell am I up here for? Am I up here for the fame? Am I up here for the dollars? Or if I'm up here because I want to see people's lives impact? Everybody else can. I mean, there's so many people who now I call them talking heads, or the YouTubians, or the Facebookians. They out there. Shout out to you. Thank you for that jerk chicken. Appreciate it. They're getting a jerk. They want the LDA to get that jerk chicken today. I'm about to go get that jerk chicken today. You know I'm gonna post it. So I just want to say, at the end of the day, it's about making sure that these men who come here are impacted and are changed. So we're right on the Good Friday. I'm not here to push no religion on you. I'm not here to push church, but I am gonna show you the example even on Good Friday about staying in your lane, about not comparing. I got to share that. Shout out to Jono, hit me up. He busy, got some things going on. Shout out to Jono. If you look at what we have done in just a year's time span, we have flipped everything around. Even maybe last year, this young man that came through yesterday wouldn't be able to receive the message. But because I was diligent to stay in my lane, to keep on going, keep on studying, keep on coming up on the screen every day, Monday through Friday, giving out what's inside, what I've studied, what I've communicated with others, I'm seeing lives change. And tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. Me and Topcast, we're going to do a broadcast. Well, yeah, we're going to do it. Me and Top going to do a broadcast tomorrow. Y'all better be ready for that, because you never know what I'm going to say, and you definitely don't know what Topcast is going to say. So you don't want to miss that. So thank you so much, brothers, for the jerk chicken day. Fun. Your guys are giving the jerk chicken for the brother. You want me to be like Reggie for that? And Jonoisms, right? It's true, Jonoisms. So please understand the power of staying in your lane. It may sometimes when you drive, and I know I've been driving I drove from Miami to Florida, or when I drove from Cleveland to North Carolina, and then from North Carolina to South Carolina to go to Myrtle Beach for my youngest son. Sometimes the roads don't have any lights. Sometimes the roads are one lane, and sometimes they're 4 lanes. But the biggest thing I learned, even it gets dark where there's no lights at all, you got to still keep going. And I think what's happening now, even what's happening now, men got to get that perseverance, that stamina, that fight. That said, this right here belongs to me. This right here, when I look all of this, these cameras I got here, this whole new using this camera right here to look at you guys. This right here, I own this. Everything is paid for. I built it from the ground up. Sweat, discipline, disappointments, wanting to give up, but I determined to stay in my lane. So what am I saying to you? What am I saying to you? It's easy for me to been doing this for years to say I need to compare myself to this YouTube person who started maybe a year ago and they got more numbers than me. Okay, it's easy to do that. Or compare myself to another YouTube person who made it started 4 years ago and they got more numbers than me. Or to compare myself to this one who's doing this and you see their cash apps going crazy and you see their super chats going crazy, and to compare myself to them. But what I realized the most dangerous thing you can do when you're driving and you're driving down the road and you look over and you start looking what others are doing and how they're driving, you begin to take your attention off of where you're going. It begins to slow you down. Let me say that again. What happens is it begins to slow you down. So what you got to do is you got to see what other people are doing. I understand that in your peripheral. But what you have to do is never take your eyes off of your road, because it will be, if you do, it will be your own asphalt. You cannot take your eyes off of your road on where you are going and what you need to accomplish. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do it. Don't take your eyes off the road. Don't take your eyes off of the road. Don't get distracted by others. Don't take your eyes off the road. The cab can lead to a crash if you're distracted. Definitely. Don't take your eyes off the road. When you take your eyes off the road, you might miss something. You might miss something that you needed for your road ahead. So you can't take your eyes off of the road. Let me break this down. Because it sounds like I'm talking maybe abstract, or maybe I'm talking like I don't know what I'm talking about, which I know exactly what I'm talking about. There have been many times in my past where I've taken my eyes off of the road while driving, going to a certain destination. And what it did was it led to me missing my exit I should have got off on. It led to me now driving out 20 miles out the way to drive back around to get onto the exit, to get onto the right road I need to be on. But one thing I learned, even in the midst of my life and the failures that I had, because ain't nobody perfect up here. I don't care how much they suited, booted, they got on curl or no curl, whatever the case may be. Ain't nobody perfect. Even the people talking about the people who say they ain't perfect. You ain't perfect because you're talking about somebody else. Even with that understanding that, I realized I can't give up. You guys are saying the collateral damage will not affect you, but those loved ones around. Stay focused. That's when you hear the deer. That's right. Let me read what it did right here. Those numbers of others don't mean sugar honey iced tea. The knowledge you bring ain't common and not for everyone. Appreciate that. Shout out to you for that. Appreciate that. So that's why even I mean, let's be very clear. I'm gonna say something that you won't expect me to say, especially on a Good Friday. Even last week, I had to adjust myself because I got distracted on the road to where I'm already at. I'm gonna explain that. I said, man, these numbers ain't here. We ain't got no subscribers. Cash App, Super Chat, ain't nothing going on right. Because I was so comparing myself to other YouTubers, Instagram, people doing other things, and not thinking about, I need to appreciate the brothers and the sisters who come along, who listen to me, who hear what I have to say. My family will listen. I got to appreciate that. If you're not grateful for the little things, how do you think you're going to be when you get the big things? You got to be appreciated. You got to appreciate the steps that you're at right now. Even when you stand in your own lane, not to compare yourself to others, one of the things that we fail to do is to be grateful for where we are at. Grateful for, it may not be perfect. It may not look the way I want it to look. Something might be off, but I'm grateful. I'm alive. I got my health. I got my strength. I got eyesight. I just get a doctor appointment I got to go to next Friday. I'm grateful. When you are grateful for where you are at, it opens the door for more road in front of you. I'm telling you, it's good to crucial, but it's good to appreciate your core audience because we'll always be there. That is so true. Always be there. I appreciate that. Learn from the past, live in the present, plan for the future. Right. So definitely. So that's why you got to be grateful for the road that you are in right now. Got to be grateful for it. You got to be grateful for the road that you're on and not to compare yourself to others. When you start putting a measuring stick to you with others, guess what happened? You get distracted. And then what seeps in, whether you want to admit it or not, and most people won't admit it, you start getting a little envious, a little jealous, and you start wondering, what's wrong with me? You start getting a little envious, a little jealous. You think, what's wrong with me? But when you have the mindset, when you have the mindset that you are a God, when you have the mindset that you are a God, who can compare to you? Who can look like you? Who can laugh and talk like you? This road that I'm on was designed for me before I even got here. Who can say what I say to say the way that I say it but me? Who can walk into a room and actually change the atmosphere or sit back in the cut and watch as the whole room wonders who you are? You stop comparing yourself to others. Because when you realize that you are God in the earth, and God in the earth, you realize that that this all belongs to you. You start walking taller. You start talking differently. You start interacting differently. You start treating people better because you know who you are. When you're in your lane, you're not trying to hurt anybody. Why? Because you know who you are. I see you right there. You said more collaborations, moving and shaking with your fellowship here can get the taste of exposure you've been looking for. Your network is your net. Yeah, come on. We talked about that. So yeah, we got a collaboration tomorrow with Top Cast. Don't miss it tomorrow on Friday. Saturday. It's probably going to be on his channel. So we're going to be on Top Cast. Me and him going to chop it up. So I'm here to tell you, when you're on your road, when you're really on your road and no one else road, guess what? The steps are already set before you. Your steps are already set before you. You really understand it. Your steps are already set before you. Let me lower this just a tad bit. Your steps are already set before you. All you got to do is just step into them, walk into them. Is when I determine to upgrade this YouTube, Instagram. Let me play into let me say this. When I took my eyes off trying to compare from others, but learning from others and what they did and what they did not do, and I got a story about that. I took my eyes to that and said, I'm going to upgrade everything. What happened? People started to show up because my intentions were put out there. We need to help LDA upgrade what he's doing. Let's get his sound together. Let's get his camera together. Let's get the right computer. Let's get the right people to come in. Let's get the editor to come in to do the work on the edits on the back end. That's when things begin to change. But let me tell you what it really changed. And this is something we're going to maybe talk about next week on manifestation. We got to really talk about this. Is when I begin to live at the end and begin to walk backwards. What do I mean? Is when I decided, I begin to look at the results that I wanted. I begin to live from the results and not from the beginning of it. So let me break it down. A lot of y'all may not know, I just seen this on Instagram a couple of days ago. T-Pain, you don't even know what T-Pain, buy me a drink. He buy me a drink. I didn't sing it right. T-Pain, before he was T-Pain, he was DJ T-Pain, DJ T, whatever T, DJ, whatever. But what he used to do was, he used to be a DJ at different clubs. So he was able to hear the music. Now I'm gonna tell you about crafting your own lane. He was able to listen to all the music that got people hype, and all the music that didn't work so well, or what records got the most spins. What's going on, sir? What's going on, sir? Ism? So what T-Pain did was, when it was time to make his own, he already had in his mind, because of his exposure, what lane he was going to craft, because he knew what kind of music that the people would want to hear and what was going to stick and get him the most plays. So when he went into the studio, oh, that's a banger. Or that ain't gonna be no banger. This gonna work. This ain't gonna work. So when he came out with his songs, they all seemed like they were hits. The reason why there was hits, because he knew he didn't compare himself to others. He learned from others, but when he came to do his own lane, his lane opened up for him because he had intel on what the people wanted. He had intel on what the people wanted. So please understand, oh, this thing froze up. What the people wanted. But this same thing applies to you. When you're on the road, make sure you have your map. Make sure you know where you're going. Know who you're taking and who you can't take. Know who belongs and who don't belong. Know who you need to collaborate and who you don't need to collaborate with. Because your role is designed for you. You're going to see right now, I'm going to make some more changes to bring about a better quality product for you, the individual. I don't think I will ever change that. This is unapologetically a man's channel. Just what as much on YouTube and the stuff that I hear on YouTube that I watch, and I'm in society, I'm in real life, not on YouTube and living. We need somebody to be unapologetically a man, not to be ashamed of being a man, not compromising to be a man so he can get the kitty cat. We need men to stand up and craft the lane and not dog women. Just don't deal with those women. and she ain't your cup of tea, don't sit from her cup. If she's not your cup of tea, don't even sip at her cup. Pass her by. See, everybody can complain about the cup of teas that women have, but let me say this real quick. Everybody can complain about the different cups of teas that women doing this. Women ain't that. Women do this. Women are like Jada. Women are like Megan Good. Women are like Tina Turner. Women are like this. Why are you going to that tea shop and drinking from that tea? Y'all need to do the Heisman on them and don't even deal with them. The truth of the matter is, real truth of the matter about crafting your own lane, the only reason why you deal with them because you don't think you deserve better to have a woman who can treat you like you're supposed to be treated, like a king. What's going on, Shalonda? That's what the real deal. Many of you men, you are what you entertain. Many of you men don't believe you deserve a woman who can treat you like you're supposed to be treated. And reality of it is, I was just having this conversation with someone today at coffee today. Let me say this today about crafting lane. Let me say this today. Women know who they can get stuff off on. Facts, LDA. You see how they're going to after Cam Newton for what he likes in a woman, right? You see what they're doing to Cam Newton? Let me say something. Let me say something. I'm going to talk about Cam Newton. Only reason why they're going after Cam Newton, you can't go after something if it ain't in you. Pawpaw, my grandfather, activated now. Don't get mad, just leave. If Cam Newton wants to deal with a woman and they don't do this, why are you women getting mad about it? The only reason why you get mad about it, because maybe you ain't reflected that in your life. Maybe you're not that type of woman. See, only like the old people say, only hit dogs holler. So there's all these women who getting upset, and I've seen some white liberals who got upset too. White female liberals got mad. What is wrong with Cam Newton saying all of that? You shouldn't say that about women. We're not slaves. We can do that. At the end of the day, why are you getting mad if it don't apply to you? You can't get mad at it if it don't apply to you. That's what I'm saying. Once again, you're not in your lane. If this man says he wants tea with a dash, with a little bit of sugar and some milk in his tea, why are you getting mad about it? That's his lane. But what happens is, and I want you to hear me, and I'm going to go back to what my morning chai latte conversation was. What happens is a lot of people want you to conform to how they think, so they can control the narrative on what road you need to travel. Let me get back onto the men. Let me get back to the men. Women know where they can get off and do stuff on with whatever particular man. Please understand, women are not stupid. They know where they can holler. They know where they can act up, just like a child. They know where they can do whatever they want to do. I don't know why y'all think women are not intelligent. Some of you men, my brothers, women are intelligent. They know where this certain man, all I got to do is shimmy a little bit in front of him, kiss him on the forehead. He'll give me whatever I want. Or I got to tell him he's the best thing since sliced bread. And you got the money. I got money. Women know where they can get stuff. They know who they can holler at and who they can not holler at. Some of them go so far as though with men they can put their hands on. Because men be getting their butts whipped by these women for some odd reason. I don't understand it, but they get their butts whipped by these women. But women know, like anybody else know, how far they can go with them, go with a particular man, as well as they will try to test the boundaries. But the problem is, we ain't saying a lot of these guys are spines are made out of jelly and they don't have any boundaries on when it comes to the woman. So what happens is, because you dealing with a woman who don't respect you, the first time she didn't respect you, guess what you need to do? You got to go, baby girl. You are not, this program that you think you signed up for ain't for you. They see, we can do it in football, we can do it in basketball, we can do it in baseball. We know we got to bring from baseball, we got to bring the person from the farm team up. Then they go to the minor leagues. Then they finally go to the major leagues. But what we do, we want to bring everybody up from the farm team up to the major leagues, and they can't hit nothing out of the park. You seen what happened with different basketball players? They get up to the regular leagues and they don't know how to act right. Send them back down to the what? To the D leagues. You got to understand that if we can do it with sports, why are we not doing that in our own life? Not just with women, with people in general. We allow too much traffic on our lanes. I have to say it because a lot of these, I'm tired of this blame game and the women are doing it. It's like a bunch of whining women. Just you whining so much. I never hear so many men whining about women. Don't deal with her. These women for the streets. You were in the streets when you got her. If she turned to be in the streets while you was with her, boom, you need to look at yourself and you need to get rid of her. Why are we making it complicated? Why are we making 6-hour lives about it? If she ain't what you want, let it go. Be upfront. This is what I want, baby. This is what I need. If you can't provide it, then we cannot see. Women will respect you and honor you better than you lollygagging, like my grandfather said, lollygagging and dope popping around. They'll respect you even more. This is what I want. This ain't when I go up. Like I said, women know where they can get stuff off on. They know where, you know what? Oh, I better not do that with him. I don't want to deal with his mouth. I don't want to deal with what he gonna say. I don't want to deal with all that stuff like that. We got too many men who's jelly back crying. I don't know why I'm getting on this or who this is for, whining and belly aching on YouTube and making videos. These women did this. You know what I'm looking at? I sit back and fold my hands and say, okay. The women you chose to deal with, women you chose to lay with. Am I not holding women accountable? Baby, yes, I am. Because I teach the gospel of accountability. Yes, I hold these women wholeheartedly accountable for their actions. You better believe it. You ain't coming over here acting no doggone fool. So you better believe it. I hold women accountable. If I don't, I'm teaching the backwards. I'm teaching the half truth and not teaching the whole truth, which is the gospel of responsibility. So I hold women accountable for their actions and their attitudes and the things they do and the things they do to certain men. But guess what? I keep saying, not in my house. The reason why I'm saying that, bring it right back home to about staying in your lane. You don't have to tolerate all that. Too many men are got too much tolerance because you want to get a piece of. You tolerate too much stuff from individuals, situations, is because you want a moment of pleasure or you want to get the deal or you want to get money. You tolerate too much stuff. I didn't see y'all don't want this. You on this Good Friday. I know it's supposed to be Good Friday, supposed to be talking about the death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you tolerate too much. I'm gotta show grace. You thinking about how you can get into grace. Tolerate too much. Tolerate too much only for a moment of pleasure. Don't crowd your lane with a bunch of people who don't have your best interests at heart. Years ago, back in the early 90s, they had this thing called Freaknik. down in Atlanta, Georgia. I was in college at the time, and it was right around midterms. And a couple of my roommates said, "Yo, we going down. You should go down." I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm not gonna go. I got this midterm, and I can't have some. I got to turn it in to get it done." So I didn't end up going to the Freaknik. But what's interesting, when it came down to Freaknik, people would arrive and from all over the country to convene in Atlanta, Georgia, during Freaknik. And what happened was on 285, they got so excited with partying that they stopped traffic. That they stopped traffic. And it was so many people on 285. What's going on, John? So many people on 285 stopping traffic that the police couldn't go by and drivers couldn't go by. With this whole thing happened back in the 90s with Freaknik. Sometimes when you're on your road to where you're going, you got people that are in your way who was trying to stop your traffic for where you need to go. You're going to have to get out your car, tell those blessed people, either you get out the way and figuratively, or you get ran over.
Yeah, didn't Ludacris have a song?
Yeah. What's going on, McCain? Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Move, Buttercup. Move out the way. I'm telling you, man, when you're on your own lane, Motu, when you in your own lane, man, you got to tell some people, hey, man, you got to go.
That's true. I mean, you got to understand, isn't there a connection between what you want and results? And what happens is sometimes you're being tested. You're being tested by who isn't here to help you. You're probably tested by distractions, not so much obstacles. And what happens is your universe, not so much the universe, but your universe or your conscious will get distracted by what's not important. And what happens is you got to keep your eyes on the goal. The true test is keeping your eyes on the goal, because all you had to do is stay on track, stay on the road, and you would have been fine, right?
Oh, John, they seen Big Booty Judy. She's like, come over, get on the road of life. Keep on trucking. Hey, cutie. Keep on. Hey, man, I'm about to make this left over here. I see you later. Then she gotcha.
Exactly. Now, a person who's in true control over their world and over control of their particular surroundings, they can make a detour and get back on track because they realize they've got command over their own time. But when you don't, and your deadline is more important, you don't have time for distractions. You don't have time for obstructions and obstacles and stuff like that. So look at it basically from a standpoint of, how do I stay on track? You know, it's a big distraction. I think, I don't know, if he got not booted, but maybe blacklisted or shadow banned for saying it. But Offset just put up a post the other day. He said the internet is just one big distraction. Social media itself is just one big distraction.
It is. It is.
And I don't say I disagree with that, but I say use it as a tool. You know,
That's my point.
you know, when right now it's opening day at Citi Field, right? For the Mets, the New York Mets, right? There's about 25,000 people going to show up there today, right? That's a lot of people, right? But who are the most unimportant people there? Most of them.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that. You just the person that literally found a way to take your $125, your $200, your $50 to put into a big pot to let about 40 or 50 people who really are going to spend this money. Okay, so what you got to realize who's important on the field. The person on the field is playing the game. The spectators who actually put the money into this are not doing anything. They're being encouraged to spend more money, like on condiments and concession, right?
I mean, condiments, right?
So what happens is the problem that we all have is that we don't know that sometimes we got invited to a game we don't get to play in.
Bars.
You literally have an assignment. Just sit down, be quiet, and let people pass by you and drain more money out of your pocket. That's when you find out you in the game that you ain't there to win.
At all.
When you're on the internet, like right, if you're watching right now and don't apply the tools we give you, because see, we're actually communicating to direct people who are in our viewership. We're trying to tell you, apply these tools, it will mean something to you. But some people, they just want your view. Some people, they just want your like. Some people, they just want your comment. Some people, they just want your share. But and they don't care nothing about you. Well, you're not in that game. You just a spectator that showed up to the stadium and they want to upsell you to the next level.
Nothingness.
Dude, how many of y'all don't realize that you have been taught to be a spectator? And that's worse. That's worse than somebody trying to take it from you. They convinced you to give it up with a smile on your face. Okay? If you're gonna waste your time with something like, say, I don't like to say all social media is a waste of time because we're on social media. But what happens is if you're gonna waste your time, make sure that time gets turned into not using the word waste. Let's turn it into using it to learn, using it to absorb, using it to grow. If you're able to do that, then it's not a waste of time no more. Now you've gotten up out of your chair and you got on the field and now you're playing the game. Why do you think we keep using all these analogies? We keep using all the analogies because it makes sense. You can identify with the coach in the game, the players, the team captain. You could associate with the towel boy. You could associate with the spectators that are near the court or near the field. And you could also identify with the people in the nosebleed seats. Because you could even say, even as a spectator, you could have an important role. You could be close to the field and they'll know who you are, or you could be in the nosebleeds and freezing your behind off. That's up to you what role you play. And what we're trying to say is you're not even in the game until you're on the field. You're not even in the game until you've been on the field and now you're showing players how to behave on the field.
Dude, you said everything I said. You capsulated before I even got on. You capsulated exactly what I've been saying before you came on. Because I told him, I mean, we talked behind the scenes, but last week, man, I was discouraged, man. I just be very clear. Man, look at the numbers, look at this, look at that. This ain't happening. And I start comparing myself to this YouTubian and that YouTubian. And I said, wait, LDA. Wake the hell up. Are you doing it for the numbers? Are you doing it for the likes? What are you really doing it for? What is your real intention for? And you hit it right on the head. When this young man came yesterday, 21 years old, we came here so you get the analogies and that you just don't become a spectator, but that you become a player in the field that we're talking about.
Wow, that's crazy. And I didn't listen to none of the shows this week. I've been like hammered down busy.
Yeah, dude, I kid you not, man. Yesterday, this young man came in, 20 years old. I don't want to go through the whole thing, as I said it earlier. He was here yesterday. We talked, connected on Instagram yesterday after the show. All he needed was he needed to hear. And I know you heard this scripture before in the New Testament. We have many teachers, but not many fathers.
Mhm.
He needed a father. So my goal, and I know John's goal, is for people to get off the stands. Stop looking at all the stats. Stop speculating what the players are doing and be a part of the team and make it happen. That's how you craft your own lane.
I just heard something. I heard the Spirit say there's a big difference between an advisor and a coach. There's a big difference. And you know the difference is? An advisor gives you a suggestion what to do, and it's up to you to come to your own conclusion about it. But what a coach does is get off your behind and go do it.
Yes. Man.
The coach, you trust a coach to kick you in the behind. You trust a coach to push you beyond your conscious limits. And that's what happens. Sometimes you don't need the person showing you the instruction book. Hey, listen, here's all the stuff complete. If you just look at this, it'll be done. No, sometimes somebody got to say, get up out the bed and go to work. Get out the bed and go to school. Get out the bed, get out your head. How about that? Get out your head.
Right.
And go get it done. Because the first thing stopping you is you. So that's why people sometimes need a coach to get you to look like not you, telling you what to do.
Because it's all you.
It is all you.
It's all it is.
So you need somebody else. Like, okay, you can do this, but I gotta get somebody else. Let me make sure they have a familiar face. Maybe it's some girl you used to know. Maybe it's some guy you used to know. Maybe somebody from your past. Maybe it's a preacher. Maybe it's a doctor. Maybe it is somebody of influence. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe it's your father. I'll get them to tell you so you trust it. Because you can't get out of your own way.
Dude, I'm this the thing, this would make this stream. So what we do with the thinking glass, I raise my hand and say, hey, that's me. That had been me. But once I said, forget that crap, I'm going to get mine. Broke out of that, huh?
Literally 5 minutes before I came on today, I was watching another YouTuber / Facebook content creator, right? And she said, I was on Instagram and I saw my numbers down. She was a dancer, right? I saw my numbers go down. But what it reminded me was when my numbers go down, it reminded me why I do this. I don't do it for the numbers. I don't do it for the shares and the likes and everything. I do it because I actually love to dance. And what happens is this was a good reminder and a good exercise to take me into believing in me and not just what people think of me. And that's what we get stuck doing a lot of times. We get stuck thinking about what people think of us and then get out of our own way of trying to manifest destiny. Okay? If you don't know that you're doing this for you and not for other people to approve of it, then why are you doing it in the first place? Yeah, you want to help people. I hope people gravitate to my message. I hope people gravitate to what me and LDA got to say. I hope that all of you stay as loyal members. That's not the goal, though. The goal is to get my message out the way I want it. And that's what you should be focused on. And that is what people gravitate to. Your ambition, your intention, and your purpose.
Let me throw another one in the pot. And you being authentically, unapologetically who you are. Jono, I didn't realize until last week or even this week, I turned the dial down to who I really am. I wasn't, you can turn, what I mean by turn the dial down, I needed to turn it up because I can be very animated. That's me for real in real life. Laugh loud, fall out, tell jokes.
You use your hands. I can hear it when I'm on the phone.
Yeah, right.
You use your hands a lot. So when you got your hands stuck to the side, you're like,
I
guess he's trying to be careful with with his people, because when you're trying to emphasize something, I know what you would do.
Yeah, right. Oh, anyway, but so I realized I turned it down because I said, you know what? You know what? I need to be conservative. I need to make sure, I got bishops and preachers and prophets and all these people listening. I can't say that. I can't. The hell with that, man. The most best thing
Last time they sent you a cash app.
can I get it like a never? Like a never?
Who your loyalties to is who you want to gravitate to your actual message. How about that?
Right. 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 Right.
I know where the loyalty is. The people that join this broadcast all the time and unapologetically contribute because they understand the message and gravitate to it. That's what sounds like it makes sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. Look what John the W said. To get your message out the way that's congruent with you. That's the authentic we enjoy. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, we may mention other content creators, we may mention other subject matters, but guess what? It's because we want to put our opinion on it. And we're not here to be judged. We're not here to be taken down a road because we decide to stick our neck out there. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be thinking you're sticking your neck out there for it.
Right. So that's I'm telling you, man. So the reason why I'm saying this because I think if people can see our transparency as content creators and then talking about crafting our own lane, sometimes everybody don't show you what's going on in their own lane. They only want to show you the good times and everything is fine over here. Everything is good. We never go through that. We don't feel down. We don't feel discouraged. No, we just keep on driving. No. Sometimes I want to take a detour and sit on the side of the road.
It's true. Everybody got to play their part. I met somebody last week that had all the money and still couldn't put it together. I told you about him, right? I don't think I mentioned on the platform. I met somebody that had enough money to buy 10 setups. But you know what? He had to find the person who could put it together for him. And that don't exactly involve money. Okay? Sometimes your solution ain't just to throw money at it. And there's proof in that. There's some stuff that you've thrown money at that hasn't gone nowhere. What you got to do is ask for help. And a lot of people have pride built into them, men and women. That's not gender specific.
No, it's
Y'all
not.
blame men on that a lot of time, but it's really men and women making the same mistake. Y'all throw your pride in front of your ability to ask. And guess what? Somebody who has probably willing to earn far less than what you were willing to throw at it would fix it for you. You just have to ask. Stop acting like you know everything.
Dude, think about what you just said applies to staying in your own lane. I know, Jono, think about it. I know you did a trip from, say, this part of Jersey to that part of Jersey. And if you do not get lost, what's the first thing you do? You go ask, or you look in your court and you look in your GPS, whatever, am I doing the right direction or do I got the right address?
Yeah, you should question everything. And there should be a whole darn teaching on that. Okay. We need a whole, I don't know if it's a month or a year on that. Okay. You need to question what's not going right.
Come on.
It ain't you are not supposed to be on the bus that the driver jumped out the front of and you still in the back of, and it's going down one of the San Francisco streets. Okay. You ain't supposed to be on that bus.
Years on the bus go round.
Give me an analogy because I know y'all will get it. I'm not trying to, spook you to the point where wait, is he talking scary stories? No, I'm trying to give you a visual here. If you see a bus driver in your bus jump out the bus as it's about to go down the hill with no brakes, or isn't it your turn to get off that bus too?
Bing bong.
You are not you're supposed to question it. You're not supposed to be like, hey, nobody's taking care of me now. If I die, somebody's gonna be responsible. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care if you fail. Nobody's gonna care if you get it wrong. Nobody's going to care if you get punished because you were part of something that went wrong. Nobody's going to care. So you should question everything. Sometimes I look at LDA, you're a great example. Sometimes you put dots and T's that you got to cross on purpose because what you may not understand, your vetting process catches.
Mm.
You ever notice that? Like, hey, why are you taking all those steps? I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe the reason why is because he may have had a habit of not checking that the last time, and then he paid the consequences. So guess what? Now that's why I do things this way.
Dude, come on.
You let your loss in the past teach you and turn to a lesson.
Dude, you're
so
right.
I respect it, but a lot of people don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Some people, oh, well, why do you have all this stuff? It's because if you know me, you know I got this whole setup here in a bag, ready to go to walk out the door. I don't have to touch this setup. Everybody, why do you need two? Why do you need two of everything? Why do you need two? I said, wait, but actually I need 4 of everything. That's why it's in my name. Okay. The number 4 is in my name. So I got 4 of everything. Okay. I've had a 4 in every one of my addresses. I got 4 kids. I got 4 times the opportunities for success. That's why. Okay. So the reason why 4 allows itself in it because there's something called redundancy and backup. Okay. I got to know that if I can't do it this way, I got to do it another way. I got to make sure I can make it happen. I want to reroute. I want to be able to adjust. I want to adapt. And guess what? If you don't think about that part in your life, things are going to happen to you and you're going to get stuck. And even when you think, I want to hear, you know what? I'm going to tell you something very important. Clarence told me something that's my friend Clarence that we always speak to.
Yeah.
He told me something very important the other day. Sometimes the reason why you get stuck is because you're always allowing people to bail you out.
Oh.
Your backup plan is somebody else doing it for you.
So what you're saying is, oh man, you're getting into this manifestation. You manifested yourself. I'm looking at the wrong camera. You manifested yourself to get stuck because you wanted somebody to bail you out.
You ever wanted that? I can't do it without. Guess what? No. You allowed it to get that bad that you couldn't do nothing about it.
Mm.
And that's what we have to teach ourselves. Now, yes, there are professionals for everything. There are lawyers. There are advisors. There are preachers. There are doctors. Yes, we're not saying you got to do everything yourself. But you let the problem get bad enough where you turned it from advice to you got to do this now. You get it? And that's the problem. We wait too long. We haven't asked questions early enough so that the sense of urgency wouldn't be curiosity. It's more like, if you don't do it, you're going to die.
Come on.
It's going to be over if you don't do it this way now. You left me no options. You left yourself no chance. I'll be right back.
He came here and tore it up. But you know you're telling the truth. Because you look what happened last week. Was it this week or last week when Jada came over here and the mic, she started messing with the mic. What did I do when Jada Smith and came over here? I told her to leave Will alone. She came to grab my mic and the mic started acting up. What did I do? Grab the other mic. You got to have a contingency plan set up for where you going on down your lane. You got to have that. If you understand some of the things that even took place with setting up the stream, I have a protocol. When it's time to do the stream, I don't care who I'm talking to, whatever, I got to go. I got to check the lights. Got to check the cameras. I got to check this. I got to make sure the internet's on. I got to make sure it's not on internet. Got to make sure it's on. I got to Ethernet. I got to make sure that this is on. Make sure that is on. Make sure this is charged. Why? Because I have a plan that just in case something happens, and I'm not looking for something to happen or manifesting something to happen, I got a plan for that plan. A lot of you guys on your road to success, or like the old rapper Cool G Rap, on the road to the riches, you have no plan. You just going with the wind. You just allowing yourself to just the free fall, holes in your drawers and all. You can't live like that. If you're going to be a man, you're going to be a man, you're going to have to step up. Step up and do something better. You got to do something better. You got to have a contingency plan when you're going down this road we call life. And I can't wait till we get to talking about manifestation, because it's been getting a bad rap on these YouTube streets. And it's been given this whole fairy tale and, you know, you woo woo and all like that. We manifest every day, whether you like it or not. But it's interesting. I do have a protocol when it comes to the lights, everything like that. Got this light plugged up right now. Reason why, when you do that for yourself, and I'm talking to the men, when you do this for yourself as a man, don't you think women watch that and observe, oh, this man is about his P's and Q's. He got his stuff together. I can't just come over there and act a whole plum fool with him. I can't be ziggity boo with him, because he has order in his life. He has where he's going. Either I'm going to be a part of it, or I know I got to leave. I keep saying this because I want you to understand that the responsibility, especially to men, is back on you. Do women have responsibility? Yes, they do. But you better be responsible enough. And I'm saying this again, to get kicked. They gotta go. Gotta go. You may not like it, they may not like it, but they got to go. Gotta go. I know we're supposed to put the link in for people to come up. Let me put this link in this chat room, because we get to going, and it's already past the time right now. And here's the link if you want to come up, but you want to say something, you want to give what you got to say, you can come up and say something. But it's so true. So true, so true, so true. What you're seeing is, the root of manifestation is self-talk, declaration, make on a on a daily basis, is reinforcing your actions. Right. Oh, we can't wait to talk about, man. Wait till we get to talk about. What's been stirring up lately is, and I've been studying it too. We talk about the game all the time, right? Everybody talk about the game. Everybody talk about the game. But the real game is the game that you play on yourself. And the real game, if we really want to talk about it, and we talked about it before, I think Sigmund would call them, is conscious creators. When you create the situation and you walk right in it. I've been studying it, been sort of working with some things. Really, I've been thinking about it. Maybe next week, I'm not sure. I'm still unsure about that, about being a conscious creator. The real game. That's the real game. When you realize that, you said it before, when you realize that you're a God, or the gods in the earth.
I think it's easy to understand once you realize you have something to do with it. No matter what part it is, you got something to do with it.
Right.
And it's not the word blame. It's about part. It's about being part of the problem. If people always disconnect themselves from the part they play, they can't learn from what happened. Okay? You could always say something happened to me. Hey, the guy tried to bump me, and then all of a sudden I stepped on his shoe, and then he's mad at me. He wanted to fight me because I stepped on his shoe. Even though this may be all his actions getting you upset, you did play a role in the situation. You could have handled things a little differently. You may not have had the ability to respond to this person in a language that they can understand. We all are faced with communication issues every day, because you know what? The thing that makes us all different is the fact that we all hear and listen and communicate differently. Okay, so if with that just plain thing in place, okay, just like they talk about Mercury's retrograde and stuff like that, you're not supposed to make certain decisions at a certain time. your ability to hear, your ability to communicate or comprehend something is going to be different during certain seasons. So you need to think about how the reaction of that thing for you in that season is going to be. Okay? Some people put roadblocks right in front of themselves because of their inability to communicate.
Ooh, uh-oh. Dude, that is facts.
You could have had a much better result with that person. You could have had a much better result with that interview, that job opportunity. You could have had a better result with the person you were trying to court for a relationship. You could have had a better result when it came to asking the bank for the loan. You could have had a better result if you just communicated differently. Nobody said there was a wrong or right way, but sometimes you got to get on the frequency of the person you're trying to communicate with. And a lot of times you're thinking about yourself instead of trying to make a bridge with the person in front of you.
Dude, and it's so true. And so we could tiptoe on it a little. Dude, I realize in order for the game to work, and we talk about manifestation and what you just said, your perception of others has to change. And if you look at everyone as the enemy, especially on these youth, what happens is they become the enemy to you.
It's funny how the word enemy and enemy sound very similar.
Yeah.
And I know people kind of play with that whole the enemy is the enemy. It's not is. What it is it becomes in alignment with the enemy. Okay? The inner you that has a more primal responsibility to get things done is actually acting on a different frequency than you consciously act. Okay? What we do is react in our conscious observance of everything around us. If the weather's cold outside, we react and put a jacket on. If it starts raining, we grab an umbrella. What happens is our subconscious, more primal response is to get in alignment with something so that it could interact with it and then get a result. So the enemy gets incongruency with our inner me. And when you let the inner me connect with the enemy on that level, you may not even be aware that there's something really working against you on a primal level that you need to approach. And these are basic levels of, oh, wait, all it has to do, it's like a combination lock. All it has to do is the piece have to come together. All of a sudden, your inner you starts interacting and being congruent. This thing that may not be ready for you to handle. And what you have to do, even though the subconscious is not a separate entity, it is you, but it behaves while you're not you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your inner you behaves on your behalf. Your inner you behaves while you're not. It's literally while you're sleeping. So what you have to do is train the subconscious to recognize the same issues that you're sensitive to when you are conscious. You're supposed to be getting in alignment with everything. The same way you would never walk outside in the snow without a jacket that is temperature, controlled to keep you comfortable, but outside from the elements, you would never do that because you're consciously thinking of it. You have to train the subconscious to behave the same way and not accept something that looks like it's good, but is not.
So that's why there has to be your perception has to change. Dude, I had to go through I had to go through the whole thing this last weekend. Change your perception. Because you can look at something and your perception of something can jack you up. And it's not even the right perception, but then you make it your reality. And what happens is, well, I don't want to go that far. What happens is if you're not careful, your perception becomes your reality, and you're wondering why it's not working out for you. Uh-oh, yeah, we didn't start it. Upgrade the firmware in your subconscious so that your autopilot is aligned with your conscious thoughts. Correct. Yeah. So this is something that this is when game is not is what you do, but we start talking about not the effects, but the causation that's inside of you. That's the real game. It's causation.
Yeah. You got to take responsibility. And you know what? A lot of people say, oh, you're talking about subconscious. I don't know how to control that. So that must be the problem. No. Take, we trying to tell you what else to take responsibility for, not to get another excuse in your life. We're trying to give you tools to recognize that there's some things that happen on autopilot that you need to make sure happen. You know,
Mhm.
anybody ever order Instacart? And if you order your groceries, right? What happens is they take your order and then they say, hey, listen, if you're not watching the order going through and they are in the store, they want to pick a replacement. What would that replacement be? Okay, so basically you hired somebody to go buy your groceries and they will pick out what you want, but if they don't find something that you want, you got to pick a replacement so that they don't get stuck. What I'm telling you is we have an internal subconscious Instacart, and we have to make sure that we program it to make the right reaction when we're not paying attention.
Right. And could it be that we got so much stuff in our subconscious? I'm so used to getting at that camera. We got so much stuff in our subconscious that is jacking us all up. That is we on autopilot and we don't realize it. While we're trying to get success out here, we need to get the success in here and adjust the autopilot on the inside. Man, there's so much to this, man. Suma, that's where the real game is played. That's where the real game is really played. Like I
We
said, I
make
had
a
to make
mistake.
some adjustments. Huh?
We make a mistake way too often by first getting defensive.
Yeah.
We first get defensive, and then we start looking for where the problem is not inside us. And I think that that's where the biggest mistake is made. We don't look and see, oh, wait, I did that. Oh,
Mhm.
wait, I was a part of that. Oh, wait, by my primal response. Look at what my habits. See, I say primal because I've been hearing that a lot on Instagram, whatever. But primal means basic, okay,
Mhm.
or first, right? So what happens is we need to look at it from what our instinct would do compared to what we've been trained to do. Okay. And the reason why you go through many, many, many hours of training is not to be repetitive and not to be, oh, I did this before. No, it's so that you could train your primal response, your basic instinct. And if you can do that when you're in your flight or fight mode, what happens is you'll have the correct reaction
Definitely. Definitely. Woo,
because
boy.
you've been trained to do it. Okay.
Right.
Some people will run in at the sight of a fight, but if you've been trained, you can literally lie on the floor and fight these people with your leg. It's about what you've been trained to do.
Right, right. And what happens is we have a lot of people who are out of shape in their subconscious.
Yeah, you don't trust what you haven't been taught.
Oh, a lot of people who are out of shape in their subconscious, and then they try to make it, they try to correct it on the outward without dealing with the inward. Got to do the inside work, baby. You got to do the inside work. It got to be some conditioning.
You don't you don't trust what you're not familiar with,
Mhm.
and that's the thing. We have to start deciding that a lot of stuff we've been familiar with so long, we're over familiar with the familiar. You haven't been enlightened, you haven't been expanded, you haven't been stretched. And that's the problem. You haven't been taken to a new level, so you're sitting on the comfort level. You don't know how far your rubber band could stretch. You don't even know you could link up with other bands to make a bigger rubber band and get around your situation better.
Wow,
You
good. Right.
dismissed the fact that you can't expand. Okay? If you're a steel ball, you can't expand. But guess what? If I throw you in some fire, you have no choice but to expand. You see, it's about what temperature have you been, tested at.
Right.
If you haven't been tested at the right level, then you won't know what your expansion level is. Some of you don't know the taste of your tea because you've never been dipped in hot water. You don't know what your flavor is. You've been sitting on the shelf in a box, and you could have had some great aromatics. You could have had some great results, but you haven't been tested. You won't put the tea in the hot water. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes to get the reaction you need a chemical reaction. A change has to happen. Okay? The caterpillar can never become the butterfly without getting in the cocoon. Okay? You could stay the caterpillar your whole life, but somehow life says it's time to change. You need to be stopped. You need to be put in the ground. You need to be put on the tree in the cocoon form with some sort of protection. You don't think you're moving, but somehow life is protecting you. You don't think you're going anywhere, but life is protecting you. And guess what? It's growing something new inside you. So when you become that butterfly, you're now flying. You ain't crawling no more. You're flying up with the eagles. And guess what? You are allowed to change. That's a change that happened. That's a chemical, that's a natural change that happened. So everybody who thinks you're sitting down, you ain't sitting down because you had to. It's because you're supposed to.
And think about what you just said. How you lead up to this? I feel the preacher coming out. You lay right up to Good Friday, the death, burial, and resurrection.
It's true. Something has to die. There
Come
ain't no space. You got one head, okay? You got one mind. You can't serve two masters. Something has to die for it to make a space for something new in your head.
whoa, man. Well, I don't know where we going here, but you right. Somebody's dream. I'm sorry, you used to looking at that camera. Somebody's dream needs to die so that it can experience a resurrection. What do you mean, LDA?
Say something. You work in somebody's dream right now. They just found a way to put the word W-2 on it. You work in somebody's dream right now. They just found a way to put the word, benefits on it. You work in somebody's dream right now. They work in your dream and pushing it down to the retirement age. That's why they call it 401k. Okay, you work in somebody else's dream. Okay, you work in somebody else's dream. They know they need help, so they traded your dream and your aspirations for stability. They made you trade your dream for stability. Because what you want right now is your bills paid. What you want right now is to be able to have good credit. What you want right now is to make sure everything's good. But somebody's dream was to hire somebody that knows what you know to help them get to the finish line, and you traded yours for theirs. That's why 20 years ago I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm get myself into all this trouble for one guy to fire me, that sounds pretty dumb to me. Okay, I'd rather be in bed with everybody who can make me the money I need to make with, and I'll be 100% responsible. If I get myself canceled, it's because I did it. It won't because somebody had a bad day. Okay, you know how some people are walking around, oh, I don't like the way you're doing this. I don't like you do. I'm just having a bad day. No, you're not going to be able to get rid of my income stream because of your bad day. Okay, what I'm going to do is take control, 100% control, and I'm going to take the difference. I'm going to take all that stability and turn it into revenue. And that revenue will somehow get me to the goal of my happiness someday. And I won't trade that for comfort.
So something has to die. And what has to die? And all of us is your comfortability of where you are at. It has to die. So that you can have a resurrection, man. Dude, something's got to go to the cross. Some got to go to the cross.
Listen, we traded it. If you don't know, I think I've said this about 3 or 4 times on your platform. And I think if people still don't get it, if you have a person willing to pay literally more than what you're paid, they obviously are getting a value out of your participation that's greater than even what you know. So why not trade it back for what you owed? Okay? I'll make an example. If you make $20 an hour, your boss is paying $25 an hour for you.
Yes.
Because he's got to pay for insurances and taxes for having an employee. You don't get away with nothing in this country, right? So guess what? He's your boss, he or she is actually paying more than what they're paying you to have you around. So you got to be worth at least, I would say, twice as much as your actual pay rate, which you can say maybe we'll just throw a number out there, $50 an hour. He's got to be making 50 for your 25. He don't got an obligation to hire you. You don't have to be there. She don't have to take your crap. She don't have to take your lateness. She don't have to take your excuses. Okay? What they want is to trade what you're willing to do for 25 and keep the other 25 that they didn't have to work for themselves. And if they multiply that by the hundreds and thousands of people, what happens is you get a Jeff Bezos who can walk around with $1 million he just told other people to help him make. $100 billion. Okay? That's how far he didn't limit his mind. He went from working in his garage and putting stuff in a box, and then he told other people to do it, and he managed logistics of getting warehouses, of getting planes, of getting trucks and delivery people. He found every part that was trying to take something from him that he could maximize his revenue and profitability. And guess what? He got $100 billion by just multiplying what he did. That's all he did. But what we get stuck at, we start saying, oh, well, I don't want to work out of my garage. Oh, I don't want to take the risk with my money. That $5,000 sitting in the account right now, it makes you feel more comfortable that it's sitting there and taking it and putting it into something that you might double.
That's
You
where,
see what I'm saying?
yeah, dude, that's where you think about it. Even when just investing in all the equipment that we have. Look, we could have been using a $2 webcam and a $5 mic. Easily. But you're going to, man, there's so much to this. You're going to have to invest in the embetterment of what you're doing yourself and where you are going. Got to. All right, we can easily have a $2 mic and a $5 and a $5 webcam, and we could have sounded like we was in the closet with a styrofoam cup. But when you make the choice to invest in yourself and invest in your future, dude, the dividends are way. This right here, like you said, this gives me joy.
Yeah, it gives me joy to talk. If I was just talking to you, LDA,
yeah,
we have longer conversations than this sometimes. And it's because if I get a chance to show you what I have experienced, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I never did that. I'm trying to show you, hey, look, this is what I went through. Please don't make the same mistakes I did. Or, hey, this is where I got success. Mm-hmm. We're looking for success in what we do.
Yeah, all day. But you know what? I think it's time for that jerk chicken. I'm time for the percolator. Dude, man, this week has been good. We done talked about Jada and Will again. We talked about Ike and Tina and Jada and Will. Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that one. I think that was on Wednesday. We had demonized Ike Turner, not knowing how we didn't really know how Tina really was, how Annie Mae, why she needed to eat that cake. We only heard one side of the story. So this week has been good about staying in your lane. We're going to see what's going to happen next week, what the subject matter is going to be next week. Shout out to all the people that are part of the thinking class who have came in and listened, who absorbed. And please don't take this information and do nothing with it. Tina, eat the cake. We ain't talked about her eating the cake. We know. Now I understand why Tina was why Ike was like that. I thought, man, sometimes you got to hear the full story before you make a judgment call. Got to hear the first because I didn't look at this. I watched the whole Tina Turner story, and it painted Ike like he was a bad man, and that wasn't even the case. Was not the case. Woo! And May was something else. And the same thing with Will and Jada. We look at Jada, but one thing I keep looking at, Will, you keep allowing this. Somebody, you know what? I just seen somebody recently lost their job on set because they got into an argument with somebody's boyfriend about Will and Jada. Big
Really?
act. Yeah. She got so turned up. She got into an argument with the actress boyfriend on set and wouldn't turn down. And guess what happened? She lost her job. I can't think of what she's pretty too. I can't think of what movie she was in. Couple movies she was in. Is it worth it? Nah.
No, it's not worth it. And people still discussing it because they have all these built up feelings about stuff that they have never expressed. That's why they get in trouble.
Yeah.
People actually have polarizing thoughts about the whole thing.
Yeah. Man, it's so polarizing. It doesn't make any sense. It's her own right. It's her own ass fault why she didn't lost her job. She should have went back into her trailer. Now she don't have a job. I'm not, whatever the case may be. She didn't say some slick stuff recently anyway. I can't not think of her name. I knew exactly who she is. She was in this movie with Terrence Howard and the cop. He was a bad cop and he touched her and he shouldn't have touched her. There it is. Boom, that's her name. Daddy Newton. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, woo. You didn't lost your job over fighting over Will and Jada. That's her name, Daddy Newton. Yeah. Nice like labor. She didn't say some. Yeah, Crush. That was the movie Crush. That was a crazy movie. Crush. Yeah, Crush. That was the movie Crush. Yeah. She been saying some crazy stuff recently anyway. I don't know. She might need to check in. It's easy calling to the show. Call us and talk. We can talk to her. Because they be, I didn't realize, and I've been saying it jokingly, but really, a lot of the stars do go back and listen to a lot of stuff that people are saying on the on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Thadia, if you Newton, if you listening, you lost your job. We know you lost your job. Come. We can help you out. Same thing with Rihanna. I see Rihanna and her little boo thing and got in trouble. He didn't go on and cheated on her. Why is she pregnant? Oh, Jesus. How you gonna cheat on Riri? But we don't know the whole situation. Well, we can even.
I'm still trying to believe it. I don't even know if I believe it
yet. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Could be the hype.
I heard something in left field, but she's. It just. I'm not saying that it didn't happen or did. It just feels so premature. The thought.
Yeah. I know. Riri. That big forehead, baby. It's gonna come out whether it's real or not real. But yeah, that movie Crush. That was a crazy movie. Daddy and Newton. Yeah, she said something recent, like a couple months back about. She said something about she was sorry for something she did about taking other people's men. Something to that effect. I'm like, man, these don't want the limelight. I don't want that kind of life. With that being said, I gotta go get some jerk chicken. Go get some jerk chicken on this Good Friday. I'm not getting fish. I'm sorry. I'm getting jerk chicken, not jerk. You know what? Some jerk salmon may be good. Mm-hmm. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, thank you, D. She apologized to dark-skinned actresses for taking their roles. Right, that's what she said. What in the world is going on? She going, I apologize for taking your roles because I was light-skinned. For me, huh? I wanted to say something else. Yeah. I think you more than took the roles. You might have been down on your roles. One band, one sign. Yeah, wow, sister. That's what she said. Yeah, because come on, sister. Why are you gonna say that now? Why are you gonna apologize to the dark-skinned sisters now? They ain't did nothing to you. To me, I'm just saying, and I could just be talking, it's like she's just looking for some attention. And she ain't getting it where she needed it. And I'm not talking between her. I'm talking about she's not getting attention. A lot of times that's attention seeking or to make herself to be relevant in the internet and all like that. So you'll say some crazy stuff like that. She needs a publicist. She needs somebody to help her out.
They don't know the consequences of their own statements. That's why people get publicists, you know?
Right.
I ain't talking to nobody with no advice before she opened her mouth and said that.
Right. Yeah, and that's what she's missing. And that, once again, we talked about that. If you don't have the right people around you, this is what happens. You should just like, nope, you don't need to say that. Like they did Jada. Jada, shut up. But I'm going on the red table. I don't say this about this entanglement. You're gonna mess your husband up. He's gonna cry. I don't care. You can't. Let me get red pill.
You can't make this up.
So with that being said, I'm gonna get some jerk chicken around here. Jerk chicken or some jerk salmon with some ting. Anybody know what ting is? You got to know what ting. I ain't saying some ting. So with that being said, we out of here. Say my watch is telling me to breathe. Breathe. Join us next week. Thank you so much, brother, and sister, for the jerk chicken. Jerk salmon. Go for the jerk salmon. Yeah, I might go for the jerk salmon. I'm telling you, I'm getting the mild sauce. I'm getting the mild sauce. I ain't going for the other sauce. I'm getting the mild sauce. Get the mild sauce. I'm getting the mild sauce. I ain't getting the hot. I'm just gonna be all bad for me. I'm getting the mild sauce. Bing bong. Don't be talking about no roses on here. I got some rogue stories, but I can't tell them. God told me not to tell them. Oh boy. Mild sauce. Or it can be your own ass fault. You got that right. It will be my own ass fault if I don't get the mild sauce. With that being said, let me cut my cam off and adjust my picture. Who's texting me? Oh God, there's people. Oh boy. All right, peace and hair grease. Next week. Oh, join me tomorrow with Topcast. I'll be going live with Topcast tomorrow. I think we're going to talk about the Madonna whore syndrome. The Madonna whore syndrome. So you don't want to miss that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to get my jerk chicken and some ting and some let's see what I'm going to get some ting, get some drink and call it a day. All right, peace.